The Last of Us Season 2 finally releasing, once again, the world of Joel and Ellie is back in the spotlight. Some people are just now diving into the heartbreak for the first time, while others are reliving it all over again. And it begs the question, does the story still hold up? Is The Last of Us still one of the greatest games of all time? Short answer, yeah. But the answers why are worth digging into. When Naughty Dog released The Last of Us in 2013, it immediately distinguished itself from other games in the post-apocalyptic genre. In a sea of titles filled with zombies, survival mechanics, and desolate landscapes, it stood out for its deeply human story. It had morally complex characters and a narrative that left players reeling. It's a game about people, about relationships, about the messy, painful choices we make to protect the people we love. More than a decade later, it's still being talked about, studied, adapted, and most importantly, felt. So what makes it stick with us? Why does it keep hitting just as hard, even now? Let's talk about it. Firstly, you don't just watch Joel and Ellie, you live it. One of the most powerful things about The Last of Us is how it uses interactivity to pull you in emotionally. Games can do something that movies and TV can't. They can make you responsible. You're not just watching Joel protect Ellie. You're not just watching Ellie fight men twice her size. You are them. Every intense stealth sequence, every panicked gunfight, every quiet, tender moment, you're not just witnessing it. You're in it. You don't feel like you're tagging along on someone else's journey. You're part of it. And because of that, the bond between Joel and Ellie doesn't feel written. It feels real. Earned. Lived in. This interactivity transforms what might be otherwise a passive narrative into a personal journey. Players watch Ellie grow, not from a distance, but alongside her, sharing in her trauma and triumph, like when she kills the cannibal/pedophile David. The game is paced deliberately, with long stretches of gameplay that require the player to spend time with the characters without interruptions. This fosters a bond that feels earned and real. Players feel not just like observers of Joel and Ellie's story, but participants in it. The game's design also avoids many traditional game mechanics that could break immersion. There's no moral alignment system, no branching dialogue options, no mini-games to detach from the central story. Every element of gameplay, from the crafting system to the violent, often desperate combat, reinforces the bleak, emotionally charged world the characters inhabit. And because of that, Joel and Ellie don't feel like game characters. They feel like people. Let's talk about Joel. He's complicated. And that's what makes him unforgettable. Joel is not a clean-cut hero. He's violent, he's selfish, he does terrible things. And yet, we get it. We understand why. He is deeply human, shaped by the trauma of losing his daughter at the beginning of the outbreak and the brutal world that followed, because everything he does comes from a place of loss and fear and love. Especially love. His final decision, to rescue Ellie from the Fireflies and kill anyone who gets in his way, dooming humanity's chance at a cure, it's brutal. And it sparked endless debates. Was he right? Was he wrong? Is there even a right answer? Joel is a man doing what he believes he must do to protect someone he has come to love as a daughter. His actions can be seen as monstrous or understandable, or both simultaneously. Part of what makes the story so good is that the game doesn't frame his final act as good or evil. It simply presents it. It trusts the player to sit with their own discomfort, to question Joel's motives, and to reconcile with their own role in helping him achieve his goals. This kind of storytelling challenges players to think. One of the most impactful things about The Last of Us is what it doesn't let you do. In a lot of modern story-driven games, you get choices. You decide who lives, who dies, what path to take. But in The Last of Us, there's no branching story, no alternate endings. You don't get to choose whether Joel saves Ellie. You just do it. Because that's the story being told. That lack of control makes the finale much more powerful. When Joel storms the hospital, you may or may not agree with what he's doing, but you're the one doing it. There's this uncomfortable tension between what the character wants and what you might want. And that dissonance, that's a human reaction. That's art. In a medium where choice is often equated with freedom and engagement, The Last of Us makes a compelling case for the power of authored storytelling. The lack of choice forces players to confront uncomfortable truths about the characters and themselves. It allows the narrative to hit with maximum impact, unsoftened by alternate endings or compromise. So, why does it still matter? In the end, The Last of Us is a story that's willing to be messy. It lets love and violence sit side by side. It blurs the lines between right and wrong, and it never gives you an easy way out. In doing that, it respects you. It trusts you to handle the discomfort, to live with it. That's why people are still talking about it over a decade later. Because it's not a story you watch, it's one you go through. And when it's over, it doesn't leave you with answers. It leaves you with questions. The kind that stick with you. The kind that make you think about who you are, what you do, what you'd live with. So, The Last of Us is still good. Part 1, at least.